Days turned into weeks, and the rhythm of their shared life began to take shape. Daniel found himself observing Margaret in ways he never thought he would, how she carefully measured spices while cooking, how she sang quietly to herself in the evenings, how her laughter could fill the empty corners of the house with warmth. The initial shock and discomfort he had felt melted slowly, replaced by a growing sense of admiration. Margaret, in turn, noticed the subtle changes in Daniel. He no longer avoided her presence. Instead, he lingered in the same room, asking questions, listening intently, even offering small gestures of kindness, a cup of tea in the morning, a blanket when the evenings grew cold. These acts, though small, were monumental for her, who had spent a lifetime feeling judged and unseen. One chilly evening, as they sat together by the fireplace, Daniel noticed the way Margaret's eyes glimmered in the flickering light. "Do you ever regret coming here?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Margaret paused, then shook her head. "No," she said softly. "I think everything happens for a reason. Even when life feels unfair, there's something to be learned, something that shapes us." Daniel looked down, ashamed at the thought of all the judgments he had carried in his heart. I judged you before I even knew you," he admitted. "I was so focused on what I thought was wrong, I didn't see what was right in front of me." Margaret reached out and placed her hand over his. "We all do that sometimes. The important thing is realizing it and trying to be better." From that evening on, a new chapter began. Daniel started helping Margaret in the kitchen, learning her favorite recipes, laughing when things went wrong. Margaret, in turn, encouraged him to pursue small passions he had abandoned, painting, reading aloud, even taking walks in the village square together. Their home, once quiet and tense, became a place of connection and shared joy. Then came the village fair, an event that Margaret had always longed to attend but never dared, fearing judgment. Daniel surprised her by taking her hand and walking beside her through the bustling streets. Children waved at her, neighbors smiled, and for the first time, she felt like she truly belonged. Daniel's presence beside her, supportive and proud, allowed her to see herself not as an outsider, but as someone worthy of love and respect. That night, as they walked home under a sky scattered with stars, Margaret stopped and looked at Daniel. "I never imagined life could be like this," she admitted. "I thought I would always feel invisible, and yet here I am, seen and valued." Daniel smiled, feeling a warmth that had little to do with the chill in the air. "And I never imagined I would find someone who could teach me so much about patience, kindness, and courage," he said. "You've changed my life, Margaret. More than I can put into words." In the months that followed, their bond deepened. They faced challenges, of course, the occasional cruel remark from villagers, the internal struggles each carried, but together, they found strength. Margaret's resilience inspired Daniel to become a kinder, more empathetic man, while Daniel's growing affection gave Margaret the courage to step boldly into the world. One day, while walking through the garden, Daniel paused and looked at Margaret. "Do you remember when we first met?" he asked. Margaret nodded, a smile tugging at her lips. "I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect from you, or from life." Daniel took a deep breath. "I was a fool. I let fear and judgment cloud my heart. But now I see the truth. You've taught me that love isn't about appearances or expectations, it's about compassion, understanding, and being willing to see the soul of someone else." Margaret's eyes welled up with tears, but they were tears of joy. "And you've shown me that even someone burdened by tradition and doubt can grow, can learn, and can love sincerely." In that quiet moment, surrounded by flowers in full bloom and the soft hum of the world around them, they realized something profound. Love, when rooted in kindness and patience, could transform not only hearts but lives. It wasn't about appearances or first impressions. It was about seeing the best in each other and nurturing it, no matter how small the beginning or how unlikely the circumstance. By the time the first snow of winter dusted their village, Daniel and Margaret had become inseparable, not just as husband and wife, but as companions who had discovered the deepest parts of themselves through each other. Their home radiated warmth, laughter, and generosity, and the story of their unexpected love quietly spread through Millbrook, inspiring others to look beyond surface judgments and embrace humanity in all its forms. And in the end, no one expected the transformation, not just of Daniel's heart, or of Margaret's confidence, but of the community around them. A marriage that had begun as an obligation had blossomed into a testament to empathy, resilience, and the unassuming power of kindness. Life was no longer about duty or expectation, It was about choice, connection, and the quiet miracles that occur when hearts are open.